And now on?
Now it's on, yeah.
Perfect. And finally, have the summary and QA session for you. When you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask during the session, of course. So the first we want to start is the future of work, because we are all forced to cope with. We are all on a daily work environment. So a perfect moment to start about how to integrate different workforces, and also the topic about generations crossing when we talk about the millennials. And here we would like to start with a video, which is one of the funniest I saw in the recent times, who show how generations cross in work environments.
Amy, it says you are trained in technology.
That's not working. You need. It's not showing. It's all about technology. It's not showing. I think you have to close this first, and then we can click here. Sorry for the inconvenience.
That's very good. Are you adept at Excel?
No.
PowerPoint?
No.
Publisher?
Not really.
Exactly in what area of technology are you proficient?
Snapchat, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Twitter. You know, the big ones.
I'm surprised you didn't say Facebook.
That's for old people, like my parents. That's funny.
Well, Amy, when you're working for me, you have to have those kind of research skills, because I'll send you things for you to comb through and get the answers and send them to me. So for that, you've got to be really good at technology.
For stuff like that, no problem. I'll just ask Siri.
You'll just ask Siri?
You know, Siri, tell me this, Siri, find me that. We're all good at getting you the answers.
Tell Siri, I want you ready to go at 8 sharp each and every morning.
I don't understand
What don't you understand?
what you just said.
You don't understand be ready to go?
No. You said 8, right?
Yes.
8, like, in the morning 8?
Yes, in the morning.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't work for me. Who gets up at 8?
I do.
I Skype with my French boyfriend in Paris until like 3 in the morning. I don't even get to Starbucks until like 10, where I order my grande chai tea latte, 3 pumps, skim milk, light water, 2% foam, extra hot, but not too hot. So if it's okay, I work best in the morning at 10:45.
Wow. Amy, I don't think we're going to be a good fit.
Why are you so negative? I can sense your hostilities, and right now I am not feeling very safe. I've been here for over 5 minutes, and the only nice thing you have said to me was nice resume, which I typed all night for this meeting with you. You've given me no guidance, no validation, no encouragement, no supervision. Is there an HR director somewhere?
HR director?
Yes, I need to speak to someone. I may have to take off today as a mental health day.
Take the day off. Amy, look at me. You don't work here.
Are you firing me?
Okay, yes.
So I thought this is really a good side note for today and all the input you're getting. And this is, of course, an exaggeration of what's going on. But there are some parts true, definitely true. I think there will be major change. When I look at my 5-year-old son, when I'm in the kitchen, he's asking Cortana, not Siri. What's a cockroach? And I'm wondering, why is he not coming to the kitchen and asking myself what a cockroach is? So there are definitely changes in our generations, and changes how they behave, how they work, how they act, and especially how they work with technologies. So when we go back to the presentation, we have 3 main areas of change or challenges and drivers in economic workforces. Obviously, the demographic change, where really a different skill set comes from the employees and is also requested by the companies, but also the HR needs to provide workplaces where this fits in. And the next generation of smart workers have really this strong, they are keen to work with the latest technologies and all the stuff around. And also the technology as an enabler to provide different work and remote working possibilities for, part-time working, working of globalization. So when you have collaboration platforms, when you talk about SharePoint and all the different tools the Office 365 platform is offering you to really enable workforces around the globe in different locations really to collaborate, to engage and to work together, share knowledge and experiences and drive knowledge management in the companies. And when we talk about AI, artificial intelligence, everyone is talking about it. It seems this is set for the future. And we have examples like Cortana at IBM, Watson, Sia from Open Topic, and they're totally different assumption on where will this bring us. And I'm hoping that not everything is true, what I heard in the last years and or last month. When you ever have the chance to listen to Dr. Vivian Ming, she's from the US, what she is thinking about artificial intelligence, which means not I can fire 100 of my people and I have AI as an alternative, but really that how can we use AI, IoT, enabling our work staff to bring better results, faster results, and really leveraging the information which this technology can bring us. So to say that there may be what the PricewaterhouseCoopers said, there are 3 different kinds of organizations around, and I think it's all about a mixture in the end, but you have really companies who are more, like they call it the blue ones, so where corporate is king, they are really on growing, on leadership, on not individualism, and you have the green one who take care about social, about our environment, where corporate social responsibility is the main driver for them. And finally, also the middle one, orange one, so where fragmentation, so really specialization is, on the daily business. And all these 3 and combined also in companies as different mixture is on the one hand side of the company, and this brings new challenges for IT and especially also for HR when we see what wants or expect the employee on the other hand side. To come to our, main topic for today about data integration, and here especially talking about synchronization between different systems, is the question to bring everyone on the same page. What's data integration? I mean, every one of you has, of course, an understanding of this. Just to review, this is a process of retrieved and combined information available in organizations can have different structures across. And when we talk about data integration, and we have this beautiful weather, this great venue, and the CM Saturday here going on, we talk, of course, also about CRM, which is a tool providing data. Data is definitely king, but only integrated data, synchronized data is King Kong in the end. And Gartner for many years predicted, and it's always the truth, and it's still increasing a high-growing market, so there's a lot of business around for you as partner, for you as customers, and maybe responsible for different CRM and IT projects on site. And there is a statement, not only one time, that you can't do CRM without any integration or synchronization. And how should this look like? So transparency is very important, of course. that you have a bidirectional sync, so not only from one silo to the other, so really integrating 2 silos or more silos. You should enable, given the nowadays work environment, mobile support. We are all moving to the cloud. No one wants to stay in on-premises, maybe some, of course, but cloud is the main topic. And we have customizations around. So not the company is similar to the other one, not the requirements are similar to the other one. So we have a bunch of different requirements and system environments outside, and you need to combine this. Perfect. So when we talk, as mentioned, about the CRM system, the most important part about the CRM system is that you as a company spend a fortune to implement a CRM. Yeah, it's a project over months, sometimes years, sometimes it fails, anywhere in between. And it's very important to have the users on board and to give them an understanding why the CRM is so important and why it's necessary to have this single point, more or less single point, or should be the single point of information, of all the customer-related information to have, to enable the company, the sales manager, the marketing to address their mission and vision and processes in accordance to this best. And it is not enough, also from our understanding, to implement a CRM and say, okay, here's the CRM system, and here's the rest. You have to bridge these systems by any solution, maybe ours, maybe another. So CRM is a journey, not a destination. Even when you have kicked off the first 100 users or whatever, then it doesn't stop. You will develop, you will add further features and functionality over time. So this is not a stop, this is an ongoing process. You as partner provide advice. You as customer be on track. We, as maybe third-party application, can help you to leverage. And we talked already about the user, and the user is not always easy to convince, especially when I say I have a new tool and I have new processes and you have to totally change your work behavior, your use cases, your business case. The users want to, or they prefer to stay in their familiar surrounding, using their clients, their mobile devices, their tools they were used to. But on the other hand side, you as company, you as advisor have to make sure that the information is in the CRM system. Otherwise, without any consistent data, it's not possible to do good customer journeys, to see where are the touching points to do for the marketing department, for example, lead nutritioning activities or something like this, and really providing customer intelligence in the CRM system. And user adoption only increase when you have good features, powerful features, and the user has a native handling, an easy handling, and not hundreds of extra clicks, reading through 10,000 of extra slides on how to behave to ensure the data is where it has to be. When we're talking about CRM integration, and I want to make the bridge today, especially to the email system, because this is for us the main other system used in the companies. Of course, there are other legacy third-party line of business applications who want to be integrated too, and there are, of course, it's only software, our CTO would say, possibilities, but I want to focus today here about this topic to integrate the CRM system on the one hand side, Dynamics 365, older versions were, and the email systems. And you have to think about how you want to set this up. You have the option of server-side versus plugin as general. So you are all, I guess, more or less familiar with the native solutions from Microsoft. There are, of course, tools from Microsoft and also other vendors to provide this bridge, this integration tool, this synchronization tool. Very often, this is set up in plugin or like a widget. That means that really administrator or a user has to touch any device, any client locally to install, manage, and maintain stuff. Often you have limitations through these plugins. For example, they don't support Mac users, or they have a lack of performance when you have Citrix and terminal server environments, or when you have very specific granular sync requirements for contacts, calendars. We will come to this at a later stage. And they are mostly available for free. This is the big plus. No extra budget required. But you have also to think of the admin hours you have to spend really to maintain this. On the other hand side, you have options to do this on a server basis, also something which is already provided by Microsoft in supporting different or more or less the current versions of the CM environment. I mean, the big advantage is you have one central installation where you can manage all your users locally. You don't have to touch anything locally. You have cross-platform support, so as long as a client or a web app or a mobile device is connected to the email server, then it's also connected or keep in sync, which is very nice. It's highly scalable and flexible, which means you have a cloud on-demand infrastructure when you are increasing users, when you, want to expand, or when you want to fine-tune your sync for different groups. This is absolutely no problem in server-side installations, and paid in the end, because they are more or less paid versions out of or on the market, paid with the return on investment and the user adoption, which brings the user adoption. And when you're thinking about, do I want to have a plugin or do I want to have it as a server-side integration, then you have also to think about how do I want to deploy this. When I have the decision to moving to the cloud and have everything on the cloud, then I think the decision is more or less clear, but you have also sometimes compliance boundaries who say, no, we still stick in on-premises, or we have hybrid environments, or different reasons why you may set something up on premises versus on cloud. So there are solutions out who provide both, for example, Riva. And the main difference, of course, is that the on-premise version is on your site, installed on your site. You need to set up and maintain the servers. You have to bring the IT stuff and the expertise to manage this. But it's really easy to manage the different groups of sync. It's all on your site, versus you have cloud, which is very important to mention that with next week GDPR enforcement date, it is necessary that the servers are hosted for the European customers here in Europe. So take a look at the solution of your choice, if it's GDPR compliant or not. Obviously, you have no server installation. You have a scalable on-demand cloud infrastructure as in a single tenant environment. If you need really a private cloud or a multi-tenant environment, availability is really also a lot of flexibility in how you want to set this up. Yep. So what we are doing is we are integrating Dynamics 365 and also the older versions of 11 and 2016, whatever is on the market. Maybe you have also another systems, CM systems. We have companies across, we have multi-system environments, maybe parts in the same area or maybe in other areas in the world using another CM system. And on the other hand side, you have the Office 365 platform. You have Exchange with all the latest and common version, Gmail and G Suite, IBM Notes, and not very well known, but the micro group-wise oder email tool. When we talk about data integration and when we talk about synchronization, about what data we talk in more detail, we are talking about how do I handle my contacts? How do I handle appointments? How do I handle emails? Maybe not only how I handle emails, maybe how I want my company to handle emails. Maybe there are compliant restrictions who say every email needs to be archived in the CM system. We are working with many banks, and they, and also insurance companies, very often have this compliance regulations where you really have to ensure that the data is consistent in the CM, where the user had not the decision, yes or not. So no manual drag and drop or archiving emails. So it's really a given sync by admin or by corporate level. Email tracking is especially this one which goes from the email system to the CM system, while you can have contacts and appointments basically synced in both directions, vice versa. And then in addition, we're talking about custom stuff, custom object, custom modules, custom fields you may have, your customers may have, and they want to integrate this as well in their sync solution. So what we deliver, it's a server-side sync. This is what we are focusing since 2008. This is really the core development to have this reliable, robust sync engine on the server level. Therefore, as mentioned, this is not a plugin. Nothing needs to be installed on a server. Nothing needs to be installed on a client or mobile device, which brings you the benefit of providing cross-platform support for your users, which again increase or should increase user adoption to give them the freedom. And especially when it comes to the question of the system architecture, you have to make sure that it's secure, that it's compliant, that, for example, things like penetration tests are done by a regular basis. So really take a look about where is your data stored, where is it processed, and where are the servers. Now, to come to the customization point, as said, in companies we have different requirements, and we have very often customized CRM systems, customized dynamic CRM, and also maybe just custom needs to have a specific sync. And we want to address some facts about contact sync, about calendar sync, and about email synchronization, just to give you a feeling what you may have to keep in mind, where you may have to think about this could be a topic for me or my customer. When you talk about contact synchronization, then the question is, how do you sync contacts? With Riva, generally, you sync contacts based on ownership or visibility. But maybe you have another request. We have companies who are working on another CRM filter departments or regions, and then you want to make sure that this is also reflected when you sync contacts. So this is available for not only for the owner, for the whole team who's working with this contact, so that everyone has the same information at hand, and when one is changing, then the other one has at the next sync the information available and handy. No, not yet, thanks. You maybe want to limit your contact synchronization, so you have thousands of contacts and you don't want to have these on your mobile or in your client, so you really should look that you have a solution which allows you to limit this contact filter. Or to say, I don't want to have it since my company started in 19. No, I want starting in 2000 or the recent whatever years. Yes? Sorry? We need this. This is.
So is it all these panes, all these categories, all these filters over there, are these only available in the client, in the desktop client of Outlook, or are these available in the web, in the online web?
So you are right that there are differences in how, for example, Exchange and Outlook and Gmail handles this. For example, in Gmail, you don't have this kind of category. But when we are talking about contacts, then you think about contacts and maybe leads as a differentiator in your CRM system and how to handle. And this is just a few how this looks when you have installed Riva, that you have a separated contact folder, which is now the CRM contact folder, and you see here the difference between a CRM contact and a CRM lead. So this is the category which is given through Outlook, but you are right that there are sometimes specifics given the different systems.
Because nowadays most of the people are using the online Outlook, not the client, the desktop one.
Yeah.
Even this screenshot is from 2000.
This
kind of thing.
Anyways, when we come to the point how this looks like in your environment, I want to mention at least, but we can also do, you of course should always take a look how this really looks like in your environment. You should trial any tool which is on the market to really make sure that the sync is working as expected and how it looks like in your user environment. And of course, we have users who are using the web app, but we have also many clients using Outlook. Some are on Gmail. We have IBM Notes, which is also different from the look and feel. But in the end, the topic is the same, that you sync your contacts based on a specific CRM security permission. Otherwise, you can't handle this, manage this. Is this okay?
Yeah.
But we can also talk later and review the question again. No? And then we talk about custom objects and custom fields, as mentioned, or organic contact filters. So organic filters who think about, okay, I just want the recent contacts on my file. So let's say kind of our artificial organic filter who fine-tunes the thing. And also maybe you want to have a sync on user level. So what's going on when user A is on vacation, user B needs to take care, and is the information visible or not? So you have really to give some thoughts on how it makes sense for the company or the use case to organize the contact synchronization. Now, please. Thanks. A main topic, I would say, for our customers I have seen so far is the calendar topic. The calendar is always an issue in every company so far I see. Maybe this is the reason why they come to us, because it's a hassle, the calendar thing, and I hope you are all and your customers are all totally happy, and maybe the native solutions are enough to cover recurring events or how they handle contacts who are not in the CRM system. Is this appointment synced or maybe skipped, or what happens? And also the way when you want to send out an invitation not via the CRM system, but using the email system, so that Riva, for example, or the tool detects the information, put it in the email system and send it out this way, where if you are the response lifecycle in your email system, but all the information is, of course, also with all the restriction and all the relationships and all the fields who are maybe in addition required on CRM side available in the CRM as well. And the other topic, which is, of course, everyone is sending still emails, is the how to handle email synchronization, starting with matching recipients. You have the two, you have CC, you have BCC. How do you want to handle this? You have to think about it. How do you want to handle an email you want to archive and it's not a matching contact in the CRM? Do you want to have this skipped? Do you want to have this created as a new lead in the CRM? Maybe you want to have this in a, we call it collector account, so your data quality management team can enrich the information and bring it to the proper part, to the proper responsible in the CRM system. So these are different things how you can handle creating new records, or where you maybe think about, also when you talk about the data hygiene in your CRM system to ensure not to have duplicates of contacts, you have to think about duplicate prevention, and also handling attachments. Many customers, or some customers we saw, pay for attachment size, additional budget, so they want to have this on a third-party application, maybe on OneDrive or on Dropbox or something like this. Maybe you want to simply say, okay, I can limit attachments, or I simply skip all the attachments when users archive emails. So attachment, you don't think about when you're sending an email, but when you're talking about, or when you're thinking about how you want to handle this in your CRM system and how looks an attachment in your CRM is in HTML, or how is it coded, then yeah, you come to the point that you see there's an input and worth thinking about. And we have also this topic of shared mailboxes, for example, where companies have a support inbox and they want, or maybe they're currently doing a manual, here's the email, I need a support ticket in the CRM system or a case in the CRM system. And you can automate, for example, this process of integrating shared mailboxes. And also, when we talked about the calendar, maybe you have rooms or Beamer or something like this you want to handle, you want to have the ability to book in Dynamics the equipment, then you can think about managing also a sync for users to have this shared resources available. Here are just a few other stories out of real life and customization requirements on customer side. I mentioned already you should always think about how you handle or how you prevent duplications. If your tool don't do so, even more think about how to handle. This advanced token matching is interesting when we may be talking about my company wants that all appointments are archived, but I don't want to have my dentist appointment in the CRM system. Then you have a token for private, for example, and then the appointment is skipped. So let's say managing exceptional rules out of, I think, everything which come across. And also, in addition, you have basically a lot of fields mapping between the CRM and the email system when you keep systems in sync. But maybe you have, as a company, specific or additional fields you want to make sure are in sync too. What's the timing, please? Okay, 27? 10. Okay, that's good. We are good in time. We started later. But lunch is coming, so I don't want to bother. I don't want to have you here as long. Yeah, loose is good. But I want to just very brief 4 use cases to give you a feeling how the integration tool leverage and fit in the gaps of 4 different companies. The first is from Virgin. I guess more or less everyone knows Richard Branson and the Virgin machinery. Here we are talking about Virgin Italy. They came to us very short before Dynamics kickoff because they forgot that integration is key requirement, and they have a G Suite, and there was no native solution available to integrate. So we really, no joke, it was a Saturday morning where Riva was set up on a cloud infrastructure. The users were imported with a bulk import, and they now have what they need. They have everything in the cloud, also their integration tool. They have one central scalable installation, so whenever they need to add any further users or they want to roll out of Italy to other countries, regions, the global world, that's no problem. And they are very happy that the users can still use their G Suite clients and also the mobile devices to have everything at their fingertips without the flip-flopping between the applications. The next one is an Australian company, Zulea. They have, for me, also very interesting, a pure Microsoft environment, so Office 365 and also their CRM in 365. So why don't they use the server-side sync of Microsoft? Because luckily, there were some limitations, especially when we talk about how fast they were able to sync. So here was key requirement that the people manage their calendar activities and also that other people making appointments for users, and that this information is really close to real time available. The France Desol is an IBM Notes. We still have some IBM Notes installations around. There are not that many solutions as alternative, also especially when we talk about the server-side structure. Here we leverage their dynamics with IBM Notes, and as we're talking about funds and very, let's say, critical data, for them the key requirement was the secure architecture, and so they run also their Riva and on their on-premises. So you see already that it's always a different driver or always a different trigger why maybe they look to spend another budget on our integration or synchronization solution while sticking with the versions, the free versions available by the vendor. I'm happy for you and your customers when it's fitting and covering everything you need, but sometimes maybe it makes sense to spend the extra euro. And finally, also an interesting case about Mantas, and when we talk about IBM Notes, what we also see, great for Microsoft. It seems they really created a great platform with Office 365. We are using Office 365 as well, and as I mentioned, it's a Canadian company, and it's a great collaboration tool. What we see is that many IBM Notes customers really migrate to Office 365, which we were thinking years ago would never happen because in general, the domino structure at customer side is really insane, and you think not only one or twice, but maybe 3 times about if you really want to migrate. But also when we're migrating, we have this case, they were on-premise integration installation. They moved to the cloud everything to Office 365, and they wanted also to manage their integration tool in the cloud and also a support during their migration from the one system to the other. We have the same migration topic one when we upgrade any version on Dynamics or whatever. Finally, we come to the point social side panel customer intelligence. This is now the point where we talk also about customer relationship management, where we talk but more in the sense of how leveraging with cognitive insights, relationship mapping and analytics, and also artificial intelligence again. What we did, you see this on this slide, we called it like a customer intelligence platform. So you, on the one hand side, you have a sync, you have an integration of your dynamic system. On the other hand side, it comes now to the point that you may think about, I don't want to have only integrated my 2 silos, CRM and email. I have also some other applications. I want to have a tool which brings me artificial intelligence when I click on a contact, or bringing me additional information by inside view, having latest information about revenue of the company or whatever, maybe helps the user to do a better customer management, to provide better service, better and focused sales, and also in adapting and improving processes internally. How this looks like is that Riva Inside, in our case, is an social side panel which pops up in the client. This is now more or less a plugin, but only working in relation to Riva, so still relying on the Riva sync engine and the information which is combined between the CRM system and the email system and Riva as a bridge, using native APIs, using the available web services. Only difference is for IBM Notes, but don't want to bother you too much. So we have really this additional information available in a side panel. Basically, our synchronization tool is really embedded in the native structure, so no additional sidebar. This is really just an add-on, a nice companion, and just a nice enrichment, I would say. Otherwise, Riva is really embedded in the native folder structure and therefore very friendly to use because nothing changes. There's no something screaming your screen again and making it closer as well. So what does it manage or provides you? You get different or additional information from the CM system. You can integrate third-party applications like TrustSphere links within, which provides you relationship management analytics, or like SIA from OpenTopic, which brings you artificial intelligence, or maybe you have also a homegrown legacy application you want to think about to integrate. And this side panel is the perfect match to integrate this too. And this is the way how it looks like when we talked about calendar enrichment, and this was also the reason why we developed this some years ago, that the customer was explicitly requesting more information when they click on the calendar. They don't want to have only calendars, think this is nice, this should be available for everyone. They want to have enriched information when they click on a specific event in the calendar, to have what's my upcoming events, what my recent events, who is the contact person, and maybe then I can really click with some clicks directly, jump into the CRM system to the proper record, update anything, but not opening the browser, logging in again, so really to have this fast back and forth between the systems. And the same how it looks like in a mail app for Office 365. The nice thing is when you use your mobile and you use not Outlook, as you mentioned, you're using the Office 365 login and web application, then you have, of course, when you're going the same way with your mobile, the information also available, even if this is not a typical server-side. This is, again, an add-in part in combination to Riva as server-side managed and centralized information. So short summary, I would say CM integration, I guess everyone was clear about this, is key to success, is key that you have a good return on investment, and the user plays the key role here to make the magic happen or make the revenue happen. So again, when we talk about how to synchronize, what to integrate, transparent and easy and native, robust, reliable, flexible, scalable, whatever I need to fit in my perfect life and use cases environment, setup and configuration. Muchas gracias.
Very good.
Now, Julia, wait, please. The question, if anyone wants to ask further questions before lunch.
Do you do any data transformation?
Not in the kind of really data transformation when you talk about supporting the migration from, let's say, Dynamics 2016 to Dynamics 365. Is this what you're referring to?
Basically, if you export data for example, SQL. SQL, I'll do it in Spanish. Ya les digo en español. We'll do it and just import data from SQL and put it in CRM.
Okay.
I want to change some logic on the process.
Okay.
You do that type of things?
I mean, when something comes from SQL to the CM system, and then it's available in the CS system, maybe reflecting something on contact change or appointments, then of course Riva will detect the change and sync this to the email system. But I mean, the first step is that the information is given in the CRM system. So we are not the part between generally the part between SQL and the CRM system, or how or other.
SQL engine.
Yeah.
Not directly.
Okay.
You are plugging directly to the CRM system.
Okay. What I can always offer is when you have really specific requests, specific scenarios that you come across to us, let us know. We have a great support team, great technicians, and as mentioned, we developed and adapted the, I would say, craziest things. So as mentioned, our CTO would say it's only software, and there's hopefully a way to improve. Any further questions from your side? Otherwise, we will be around the whole day here in front and happy if you come.